The Why Golf podcast is brought to you by Skyscanner, the ultimate travel hack that searches billions of prices on flights, hotels and cars, so you can feel confident you'll always find an amazing deal. Hello and welcome to Why Golf. I'm Di Stewart and this is the podcast where we celebrate one of the greatest sports on the planet. It is the final episode of the series, and after travelling the globe to speak to some of the biggest names in golf, we're finishing off with one of the most recognisable faces in the sport. Tommy Fleetwood has had quite a remarkable couple of years. In the last 12 months alone, he's won the Ryder Cup with Team Europe in Rome. He's finished tied third at the Masters and won a silver medal at the 2024 Olympics in Paris. And just after we finished recording the last episode up in Scotland before the Alfred Dunhill Links Championship, he only went and finished third. Tommy, hello, good to see you. Before I recorded that, we were just debating last and last. It's last from you, isn't it?
That's the only one I've got. Yeah,
it's the only one you got.
Last in my repertoire, so it's got to be last.
I've been living down south for so long now. I'm like in two worlds. I really am. Where are you in the world right now?
We are at home in Dubai, so enjoying the nice warm weather and a few weeks before our next tournament. So just hanging out here. Great stuff.
Yeah, the next tournament, just remind everybody what it is.
It is the HSBC Abu Dhabi Championship. So I have two events left. We have that one and then the DP World Tour Championships. So that is the last two events of the calendar year for me.
Oh, well, we can't wait to see you win both, basically. So we're all cheering you on from London. Yeah. Just, it's easy, piece of cake, isn't it? Well, it's pouring down here in London. It's absolutely horrendous weather.
Miserable.
So, enjoy the sunshine there. Now, the Alfred Dunhill Links Championship, when was it? Last week? 2 weeks ago? Yeah, it was last week. My goodness.
Well, 2 weeks ago, actually. We're on Monday.
Time goes so quickly. Alfred Dunhill Links, you finished third. It's one of your favourite tournaments. How much fun did you have? I know you get on really well with your playing partner as well.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed the Dunhill. I think I've played with Ogden now for maybe, it might even be 10 years now. So we've played together a lot. We get on great, so it's always a nice week for us that way. Great golf courses. I love St Andrews so much. But I also, I actually have always enjoyed the format of that tournament. And you never quite know what you're going to get condition-wise, weather-wise. But it's still, it's so high up on my list of like events that I would like to win and just and have that one and have my picture on the Swilcan Bridge. But I've not quite managed that yet, but I'll still keep dreaming.
Yeah, keep going. We were cheering you on, and to win at the home of golf is pretty special, is it? But
I mean, Tyrrell's done it 3 times now. He might as well
boring, dull,
give one away and just like let someone else have a go.
Yeah, it gets a bit dull when you keep winning. Yeah. I'm obviously joking, but that format, why do you like it so much? Do you never know what your playing partners are going to do?
I think it's really nice having two things going on at once in a way. I think I've always found it a good format for my attitude, just because you're responsible for more than yourself. I'm close with my partner Ogden, so we care very much about the team event. We actually won the team event in 2019, but I just think I've always felt that it helps my attitude in terms of an accepting way. I'm going to have I'm going to have bad holes, but I of course I still get frustrated, but I think you turn to trying to help your partner and you quickly focus on something else other than getting to down on yourself or annoyed at yourself. So I've always tried to see that as a positive and play it that way.
Yeah. If your playing partner is sort of chipping onto the green for an 8, do you say you can pick up now?
Yeah, Ogden wouldn't do that. Be cracking on for an 8, but at that point maybe. So yeah.
Have you ever told anyone in a pro-am to pick up?
No, just let them enjoy it.
Fine. Yeah. And 16 hours later, we're in the clubhouse. Yeah,
let them enjoy it. Golf's a beautiful game. If they want to hit that many shots, let them hit them. No stress.
Totally. And it is a brilliant week. It has that super special feel of being in St Andrews, at the home of golf. And before that, you played in the BMW PGA Championship at Wentworth. And super cute moment. Your son Frankie dressed up as Spiderman and met Tom Holland. Yeah. What was that like for the whole family?
Yeah, that was very cool. He loved meeting Tom, and he's he truly believes that Tom is a code name for Spider-Man. Like, Tom is just a code name, and there's only a few of us that actually know the real story and the real Spider-Man. So Frankie loved that, and I think Tom actually convinced him that he would beat Captain America in a fight, which was a big debate the morning of. But yeah,
Great.
that was great. He was such a lovely guy, and he was so great with Frankie.
Yeah, I mean, Tom loves his golf as well. All the boys do, the Holland
Loves
boys,
it.
and
All the
Dom
boys
does.
loved it. They played great. I think we won that pro-am actually.
Oh, did you?
The guys played great.
Yes,
Yeah,
you did.
they were.
I'm getting the thumbs up.
I know, you could
Well,
just see you could see how competitive they all are as brothers, and then obviously working as a team, they really wanted to win and do well. So that was great.
It's really fab. I mean, they're doing so much in the golf space now on social media, and I think Tom's putting out to his 60 million followers that, you know, he's filming and putting it out there, which is great for the game. Does it ever surprise you how many people are interested in the game of golf, from celebrities, actors, presidents?
I think it does, yeah, because I think you know, I'm lucky that I've met a lot of people from so many different walks of life, and when it's your job and you do it day in day out, I'm obviously aware that maybe people won't want to speak about golf, or maybe I won't just bring it up, but it's amazing how many people love the game, how many people play it or take part in it, and yeah, I guess I'm constantly surprised how much people love the game of golf, if you like, and are playing.
It honestly, it helps the people that we speak to through this podcast. It helps people mentally, physically, on so many levels, and really has a ripple effect through communities, which is what it's all about. It's bringing people closer together. And one guy actually who's a massive fan of yours, Tommy, is Michael McIntyre.
There's no way.
Yes, he's a huge fan. So at the BMW Pro-Am, I asked him about his golf game, and he said, well, I've been watching a lot of Tommy on TikTok, and here's a little clip of what was said.
So I've got a problem with my arse, and you can't say that.
It's quite big, actually.
Physio on it, which is good. But the issue is, I just don't want to injure myself. No. So I just think, don't get hurt, don't get hurt, don't get hurt, don't get hurt. And by the time I've realised I haven't got hurt, you actually hit the ball quite cleanly. And can I be honest? I blame Tommy Fleetwood, who I've never met. He came up on TikTok, and he has this half swing thing. Yes. So if you can see it here, so if you stop there, if you follow through, everything's okay. Yes. But if you stop there, like Tommy Fleetwood, you're literally grinding your left glute, otherwise known as your left arse cheek, right? And I did that over and over again on the range, and I was amazing, but then I was in more pain than I can explain.
So you have created a left arse cheek situation with Michael McIntyre.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? Yeah, but on that TikTok video, it's a good little tip. But he did say it in jest. He's just had a few steroid injections, but he's going to get over it. He's a massive fan though. But and his game is that's honestly, he made me giggle for 20 minutes. I literally asked him one question, and he went off on one. He was fabulous. If you want to listen to our last episode, you can do. But I will. I definitely TikTok,
will. I'm sure he's funnier than. His golf is better than how funny I am, I'm sure.
Okay, yes, possibly. He did hit a good one off the first, which I saw. But on that TikTok video, Tommy, it was quite a few years ago, I think. You didn't have the beard. You've had the beard for a long time now. Also, Michael mentioned your hair, and he was very impressed with your hair. Does it get a lot of chat on tour? Because we're all super impressed by the quality of the hair.
The quality of my hair. It hides under a hat most of the time, but no. Claire, my wife, she makes me keep the beard. Without it, I look a lot younger than I am. So,
it looks great.
Yeah,
do you use any specific products in the hair?
No, that's a question I get asked a lot. And,
well, we want to know.
I use whatever is available in whatever hotel I am in. So no, there's nothing. No secret or nothing specific. I just lucky, I guess.
You're very, very lucky. And would you ever, just a final hair question, because I'm super interested. Do you ever blow dry it?
No, never.
No, okay.
I'm so low maintenance with it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, lucky and looking good, Tommy. Now, you're ranked number 10 in the world rankings. Who, in your eyes, right now, is the best player on the planet? And do you ever watch anyone else's swing online on YouTube or check out what they're doing? Or on the range, stood next to you?
I watch quite a lot of golf online. I think there's always something you pick up on. I actually love golf, and I love learning about it. So I quite like watching a lot of other people's swings and stuff. And I think one of my biggest philosophies is watch what the best players do and copy it.
Yeah.
So I'm still doing that to this day. I think I think it's hard to say Scotty Scheffler isn't the best golfer on the planet at the moment, but you look at the top of the world rankings. I mean, there's amazing players up there. I still I've always been a huge fan of Rory's game and Rory's ability. And I've always thought, like, of our generation, I would pick Rory as the most talented and the most gifted for sure. But right now, Scotty is undoubtedly the best player on the planet.
And I'm sure, Tommy, they're watching your golf swing as well online. But right now, at the moment, is there anything? What are you working on in Dubai ahead of your final two events?
Left glute.
A lot less glute.
No, my swing. Generally, I always struggle with the same things, which I think is the same as everybody else. I have the same patterns where I have a bad takeaway, and then it shifts my body out of position, and then I'm always trying to get in position, and I always struggle with the same handful of problems that I always revert back to working on the range. And I would love it to be something different, just a bit more interesting, something to work on, but it's always the same things. And that's my life pretty much.
Yeah. Trying to sort out the same issues. Yeah. I think it's the same with most golfers, to be honest.
Yeah.
But as I say, we wish you a lot of luck in the next few weeks. But in terms of success over the last 24 months, the Olympics obviously was massive last summer, and winning the silver medal. Can we pretend that we're there with you and what it was like being in that kind of environment and stood on that podium and looking out thinking, my flipping hell, I've just won a silver medal?
I was it was the coolest thing. I think when the Olympics started this year, so I was lucky, I made the team in Tokyo and we went over there, but of course it was still very much part of COVID, and it was a very different scenario. There was no crowds. We couldn't go to any other Olympic events, and you were very strictly stuck to what you were doing and your event. And I loved it so much. We stayed in the Olympic Village that year, and just the whole experience. I'm constantly in awe of any Olympic athlete that puts the heart and soul to get the opportunity at the pinnacle of their sport once every 4 years. I find it incredible. I really, really do. And so I loved that. And then going on to this Olympics. But I remember when the Olympics started, we were still at home in England the first few days, and the Olympics came on, and my son Frankie, who was 6, he's just turned 7, but he was 6, and he really got into the Olympics, and he was watching it and had no at the time, had no consideration that his dad didn't see him as an Olympic athlete or anything. I mean, why would he? And so when we were going to the Olympics, it was quite funny. Just because he didn't really see me as that at all. And then I think this year, I think this year was where golf really stamped its case for being an Olympic sport. I think, there's been so many questions about it. Just where does it sit? We've got the 4 majors. Where does the Olympics sit? And to be honest, for me and most of all of our generation in a way, I never grew up with the Olympics with golf being in the Olympics. No. So I never dreamt of playing in the Olympics or standing on an Olympic podium because it just wasn't an option. But I do think that is changing at this point. And without question, coming down the stretch with a chance of any Olympic medal, but a chance of the Olympic gold medal as well, was so much fun, and it was so amazing. And then standing on that podium, is up there and can definitely state a case for being the most special moment in my career, along with Ryder Cups, playing to win majors and all of that. So I really do think the Olympics is just going to keep growing and growing in terms of what it means to golf, and how an Olympic medal, you have it forever. So it's pretty cool.
It's so cool. It's so cool. Now Frankie can play golf in the Olympics in future years. I mean, he's got because the exposure is there. So. He can see it. Yes.
Yeah, well, it is. It's something that you can actually dream about now. And I think this one especially, with the guys that were playing and the guys that were challenging for it all the way through that Sunday, I think it was an amazing event to play in, and I'm pretty sure from what everybody said, it was an amazing event to watch as well. So I really do think it was, it was great.
Absolutely brilliant. Did you bump into anyone that you thought, you're really, really cool and I can learn from you at the Olympics, or were you not allowed to go out?
No, I wasn't staying in the village this year, so I didn't see many athletes at all, or any other events. But one of our closest friends is James Guy, the swimmer, and he's won. Has he got 3 golds now or 4? But anyway, he won the gold medal earlier in the swimming. And I just, the whole time I was like, I'd love to have a picture like both of us have a medal, and we were talking about that a lot. So that was a nice little extra motivation for me. But like I say, like a few athletes came to watch the golf. It was a little bit out of the way, but it's just cool. Anytime you see someone in like the GB kit, you actually feel like kind of close to them, like even if you've never met them before. Like we're on the same,
we're teammates.
We're on the same team. We're part of that.
We're now best mates. We go out for dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's exchange numbers. No. Yeah. That is so brilliant, and what a legacy! And can't wait to. We're now championing you for the gold in a few years' time. But in terms
I'll try and make it first. God, yeah,
you can do it. Where is the silver medal, by the way? Is it on the mantelpiece? In a drawer?
Do you know what? I actually don't know at this particular moment. I don't know where it is. Claire had it last, and I'm sure she's kept it very, very safe. It's actually one of the most stressful things to carry around, because I would much rather lose my wallet. When you've got the medal with you, it's like it's so precious. It's like stressful having it around and having it in your possession. I'm like really nervous about carrying it around.
Totally. I hope you find it later on. I'm sure Claire's got it. But the Ryder Cup last year, that amphitheatre, that crazy noise of when you walk onto that first ever Ryder Cup. But just fast forwarding, you got the winning point against Ricky Fowler. The reaction on that 16th green was just magical. I mean, it was spine tingling. What was it like for you to get that point?
Well, I felt sick for about the 2 hours prior to it, because it looked like when you see the leaderboards and you can see how the day's panning out. Going out sort of late in the singles is it's a little bit of a strange place to be, because it's kind of quiet when you tee off as well, so that's different. But also we had a pretty good lead, and it's like it's either not your match isn't going to matter. Or if it does matter, like all of a sudden there's a load of pressure that you kind of didn't expect in a way. Yeah. So it was a strange place to be, but you could see all day that it just looked like the flow of the way that the singles were going. There was Shane, me, Bob. That was the 3 that were at the back, and you just got a sense that it was coming down. It was going down that far and coming down to one of us. But again, loved it, enjoyed it so much. It was amazing playing that back 9, and then to hit a shot that will be, I guess it will be remembered for a very long time, and it'll be shown a lot. And it was probably I think it's a good answer now, when people, because I can never remember, people ask a lot, is what's the best shot you've ever hit, and I can never remember one. I've probably
you've hit a lot of good shots.
I can never think of one off the top of my head. So it's nice to have that as a ready-made answer as well. But that winning moment, when whoever it is that gets that winning putt, it's more about that winning moment as a team, and that we've got over the line and we've achieved what we came there to. It's so cool and it's so amazing, and then getting the chance to celebrate all together as a team is it's something that we just you don't ever really get the chance to do as golfers. It's such an individual sport. So for us, that's it's one of the most amazing things.
Yeah. How long does it take for the adrenaline to come down after that?
I came down pretty quick, actually. I was when I eventually got back to we drove in from 17, so like our match finished because so I kind of so when I was 2 up with 2 to play, that was when we knew we'd got the guaranteed half point. But I still had to finish the match, so there was a few matches still going. So we finished on 17, and then we drove back to where everybody was. Like, drove back to the 18th green. Nobody was there. There's just a big crowd, and then we drove around to the first tee, and that was when I'd seen everybody. And by that point, kind of come down at that point. I was kind of chilled that we'd done it, and we can relax now and just enjoy it.
Yeah, just won a Ryder Cup. But the putts on 16, the putt for the par that Ricky gave you, I mean, he immediately. Sorry, excuse me, for birdie.
I drove to green.
Thank you. Excuse me. The putt for birdie on 16, he just gave it you straight away.
I think it was a lot shorter than what it looks on TV. It was maybe 2 feet. I mean, he didn't have to give it, but I think he gave me it. I was very happy picking it up as well, but also, I'd have very happily knocked it in at the same time.
Totally.
But he gave me the putt, and I picked it up pretty quick, and job was done then.
What did he say to you? Yeah, it's good or something.
He just said, that's good.
Yeah, great. Pick it up. The drive, you drove the green on 16, we're just highlighting that. Drove the green on 16, possibly one of the shots of your career so far. But it was fabulous. So many amazing memories and just a massive boost for Team Europe. Bethpage Black is the next venue. Have you played Bethpage a lot?
No, just in the, I think it was the USPGA in 2019.
Yeah.
So that's the only time I've been there. I remember how tough it was, how brutal it was. I remember the practice rounds being like just ridiculously hard, and especially on the Wednesday, it was raining, it was playing miles, the rough was so thick, and then Brooks shot a 63 in the first round, so it can't have been that hard. But it was, I mean, a pretty tough test of golf. It'll be interesting how they set it up for a Ryder Cup, and obviously playing, it'll be in front of a New York crowd, which will be it'll be amazing. It'll be so much fun to go there as an away team, and the Ryder Cup, such a big part of it is the home fans of where you are, and I think I'll just hopefully I can play well and make the team, and if I do, I'm very excited about going there and playing.
Yeah. How important is match play golf for golf?
Yeah, I think it's still a huge part of golf. You spend so much of for us, like as amateurs, I guess, playing at the elite amateur level, you play a lot of match play golf in teams, individually. I mean, the 2 biggest amateur events in the world, the British Amateur and the US Amateur, are match play.
Yeah.
They're a knockout format after the stroke play. So I think it has a big part in golf, and I think it's a very fun type of golf to play. It's different. I think a completely different challenge. But I always enjoy playing match play. It's just you against, you're so used to playing your own ball. For us, we play 72 holes, and it's you against the golf course, if you like, because you can't control what the others are doing. But when it's match play, it's one-on-one, which is very different.
Yeah. The Why Golf podcast is brought to you by Skyscanner, the ultimate travel hack that searches billions of prices on flights, hotels and cars, so you can feel confident you'll always find an amazing deal. We were just talking about the adrenaline rush of events, and you said during the Ryder Cup, that on the last day you felt a bit of sickness before everything finished. Have you ever, because I've spoken to a lot of sportsmen and women before massive events, and some of them have actually physically thrown up before going to run out onto the pitch or to go to the first tee. Have you ever had that awful nausea of anxiety?
I've never thrown up.
Which is great.
No, that's. I mean, if it's a positive if a lot of people do that. No, I've never been that bad. But I do. I still get nervous going to the tee. I think. Yeah, I do believe that if you're not nervous, in a good way, then it sort of doesn't mean enough to you in a way. Like
Yeah,
especially
yeah.
when it's your career. So I love that feeling. That's what we practice for and prepare for, and then you get to enjoy that adrenaline rush and that nervous feeling every time you go to the tee.
Yeah, totally. I mean, using the fuel of those around you and just sort of absorbing the situation. I say the sickness from because my cousin played in a World Cup in 2003, and I think the majority of the England rugby team were vomiting in the changing room before running out to play.
Doing it all together.
They were doing it all together. It was a pretty horrific scene, but then they went on to win, which was marvellous. But Tommy, can I take you back? And because so many of our listeners and our viewers are interested in starting out in the game of golf, how did you get started? When did you first hit a golf ball?
Well, my dad played. My brother played, who was older than me, and I think I was 5 or 6, and my dad cut a couple of golf clubs down for me. I just there used to be this. So where we lived in Southport at the Southport Municipal, it was called the Sefton Juniors, and there was like a little 9-hole comp every Monday night. That was like golf season for us. So eventually, my brother played in that every week, and my dad was a keen golfer. I just wanted to join in, really. So my dad cut a couple of old clubs down, and I started having a hit, and it very quickly sort of became my favorite thing to do. So I started going. I think when I was 6, maybe towards 7, I actually joined the Sefton Junior. So I would go on a Monday night and play 9 holes. I would go the range most days, and I just always loved it. I'm distinctly average at every other sport.
That's always the next question.
I love sport, and golf seemed like I was okay at it. It seemed like I was pretty good at it, or better than the rest. So it just turned into my favourite thing to do, and I kept going from there.
Yeah, I'm not useless at this. Keep going.
Yeah, pretty much.
Did you play cricket, rugby, anything else, tennis?
I played them all.
Right.
All in school and everything, but I struggled very much with the moving ball. Once the ball's moving, that's where I'm out of my comfort zone. And yeah, like things like football, like if we were playing at school, they would throw me at left back because nobody really wanted to go there at the time. So that was like my position. Just things like that. But I was okay at everything, but I was very average. But golf was just my favorite thing to do. And I love playing sports, but I never had even close to the same interest as I did to golf.
Yeah, it's funny. My son at the moment, he's suddenly starting to love golf and sort of moving away from football at the age.
The game hooks you, for sure.
Oh, he's got it now. He's like, can we play today? Another 36 holes. I'm like, I'm exhausted. Did you have any golfing idols growing up?
Yeah, Ernie Els was my biggest idol. I loved the way he swung a club. He did. So we did a clinic at Wentworth. So I was 8, so this would have been 1999, and we went down to Wentworth for. We obviously went down for the tournament on whatever day, and Ernie Els was doing a clinic, and I went to that clinic, and he was so nice, and he was lovely. I was really getting into my golf and watching it a lot on TV, and Ernie's like his rhythm and everything I liked already, and then when I met him and he was so lovely to me, Ernie quickly turned into my golfing idol.
Oh, he is absolutely fab. And you know what? He works tirelessly. And I also love what he's doing with his son in the autism community as well, just raising awareness and raising funds, which is vital, but just such an easy guy. And you know, he's always got time for everybody, which is...
Yeah, he's amazing. And
priceless.
I've had, and even then to sort of starting playing professionally and then getting on tour, and eventually... when I got the chance to meet him when I was older, like that, there's always that saying, like, you should never meet your heroes. And Ernie was more unbelievable when I met him when I was older, when he'd been my hero for 20 years or whatever, than I remembered him as a kid. So, he's my favourite.
Yeah, he's a great guy. And he always says yes to interviews, as you do,
oh, well,
Tommy.
There you go.
Yeah, no, it's great. Just remind everybody listening, who are your coaches right now?
Well, I have a few
How
at
many?
various times. I work with Butch Harmon, but obviously like travel wise and where I live and where he lives, we don't see each other that much. But I will travel over to Vegas where he is a few times a year. We speak on the phone a lot. I've worked with Graham Walker, who
Yeah.
was an England coach when I was on the England squads as a junior, as an amateur. He does a lot of short game with me. Phil Kenyon, for putting, who I've seen for such a long time. Like I think I first went for a putting lesson when I was 11 or 12, maybe a fraction older. But it was Phil's mentor, Harold Swash, was who I went for a putting lesson off.
Oh wow!
And
Yes.
Phil was his assistant, so that's how long ago it was. And so I've known Phil because Phil's from Southport, so known him for all that time. And then Colby, is a physical trainer. He's in the US and on the PGA Tour, so I see him a lot. I speak to Bob Rotella a lot. I've been to see him. One of the great things about him is like so I went and spent 2 days with him. This was 2 or 3 years ago. But once you've seen him, he's always on the other end of the phone. Like he always texts and he's always talking, which is amazing, really. And I also have. I don't work with a million people. It's just like these people I'm always kind of seeing. But I also have, the pros that are at the academy over here in Dubai as well. I will always discuss my game with or play golf with and things like that. So I'm always trying to learn, and I'm always trying to do better myself, obviously.
Yeah, a great mindset to have. I know you're a fan of other sports. Do you ever try and learn from other sportsmen and women? I mean, you went to Wimbledon last year, observing them, picking up little bits and bobs.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I read a lot, and I love watching sport. I love I just think whatever sport it is, and that's why I love the Olympics so much. There's so many familiarities in what we do. Like it's a completely different challenge, technically and physically, in everything that everybody does. But there's so many things that are the same in terms of the whether it be a psychological challenge we face or whatever it may be. So I love watching, and I'm always trying to learn. I think we've been in an unbelievable era of sport the last few years. So like if you can't learn anything through this era, then there's no hope for anyone.
No, totally. And I love Bob Rotella and a lot of his philosophies and the way he advises people. I mean, it's gold dust. It really is. But do you meditate? I think I heard somewhere that you do. Do any?
Not enough anymore.
No.
I so I went through my biggest phase of meditating when I was really struggling with my game. So that was 2016. I was I was in a bad place, like technically, and I was really struggling with my game. But obviously, when you start working on something, and I'd gone back to my old swing coach from when I was a junior, and he was really helping me, and I was doing really well. But the thing is, technically, I could get better, and you can see that day by day. But my confidence was so low that I had to do something about that, and I started meditating a lot. And it really helped. I don't do it at all enough, and it's one of those things that I always write down to do. Like when you write down to-do list, and I'm
meditate.
We'll meditate this month or whatever, and then you get to the 30th of the month and you realise you've not done a day, not done 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's hard to put into practice. I think it's just that, those habits take a long time to cement. But you've got some brilliant habits in the game of golf. Do you ever have any sort of mantras or anything that you say to yourself when you go out onto the golf course? Because I know sportsmen and women who say, no expectation, or you've got just a couple of key words in your mind for your thought process for those 18 holes.
They change a lot. I think the one that I probably always have in my mind the most with my performance is like acceptance. I try and be as accepting as possible, and honestly, there's days when I'm terrible at it. I can't accept anything, and there's days when I do it really well. But I think that one, that one's almost the hardest one, I think, for anybody that puts so much effort and puts so much work into it, because you're without without really high expectations, I feel like you never get to where you would like to go, but you have to manage those expectations and accept, everything that happens, because otherwise you're not giving yourself the best chance. So that's always the hardest balance. So yeah, I think that one's the one that I try and focus on the most.
Yeah, great message as well to people who are whatever stage they are in their golfing hobby career. And it's a tough one, isn't it? Acceptance, coming off the back of a bogey or something.
For everyone. Everyone, yeah.
And also in business as well, just accept the way things have happened, and also not to look too far into the future. I don't know if you do that, or you're quite good at staying in the present.
I mean, the thing is, like, once something's happened, whether it's a mistake, whether it's something that's gone bad, whether it's something that's gone good, there's nothing you can do about it now. Like, it's done.
Yeah.
So like that's like the hardest thing to do is like, well, it's happened now, so there's no going back.
Nothing I can do.
So then it's like controlling whatever is about to happen next, and where you are right then. So definitely being in that present moment. There's nothing you can do, especially when you're playing golf as well. If you're on the 13th hole and you're on the tee, there's nothing you can do about the 15th, and there's nothing you can do about the putt you just hit on the 12th. So being able to stay in that present mindset is always one of the hardest things to do, but it's almost one of the most important as well.
Yeah. Great stuff. Now, in terms of the development of the game, I know you're massive in encouraging, grassroots and junior golf. Can you tell us a bit about the Tommy Fleetwood Golf Academy? What's happening with it? It's at Formby Hall?
So we have one at Formby Hall, and that started in 2018. So that was, I think, from a pretty young age. I think just from my journey through the game, like I say, where I started being part of a junior club, if you like, playing that Sefton Juniors, to my growth playing in county teams and England teams, and the structure that I always had, I think an academy and helping juniors or anyone really get into the game, and then helping them through that sort of process, if you like, of how to start, how to get better, and how to keep going. I think I always wanted to do that. So then the first one, Norman Marshall is the head pro at the Tommy Fleetwood Academy in Southport, which is at Formby Hall, and he was a junior coach of mine when I was like 10 or 11. I used to go to a driving range that he worked at, and he was my coach then. So he helped me a lot, and now he runs that one, and that one has been a huge success in the area. I think that's got 180 kids currently that go through that have lessons weekly and monthly basis. And then just a couple of years ago, we got the opportunity to come here in Dubai, and we have a Tommy Fleetwood Academy at Jumeirah Golf Estates now.
Excellent.
In Dubai. So, and that one's been a great success as well. That one's got people of all ages, from 5 to I don't know what the oldest one is, but all
85.
and then from it's from every level, from just starting out, you've never hit a golf ball, you never touched a golf club before, to professionals, tour professionals use our facilities in Dubai and everything, and kids in Southport have had a lot of success in junior tournaments around the world, and we now we have an elite squad here in Dubai as well. So there's a lot going on, and I think I love the game, and I see what good it can do, and I think I strongly believe that whatever anybody's dream is in life, or whatever anybody's goals are, whether that is to be a golfer and win majors, or make it on tour, or be a PGA pro, or be a doctor, a dentist, whatever it may be, I do think that the lessons that you learn in golf will only help you in striving for that dream. So it's not really like, I've lived at the elite end of the game, and I love watching people become a success at the game, but I also do believe and love watching people grow from the game of golf and help them in any walk of life in which they choose.
Yeah, really, really fascinating. I totally agree with what you're saying. Those golf lessons that we gain over the years by playing golf, etiquette, integrity, patience is a massive one.
Well, yeah, we've just spoke about, staying in the present. You can't do anything about what happened on the 12th hole.
Yeah.
Acceptance, like things like that. There's so many different layers and so many different skills in all of sport, really. It's just that golf is my chosen craft.
Yeah.
So that's the lessons that I've learned are all through golf. But I do love that. And then I enjoy learning so I can pass that on in a way. But I think it has a lot of benefits.
Totally. How does it feel when you see the journeys of some of the juniors involved in your academy or some that are older and see how much they're improving and how much they're getting from the game? How do you feel? What is it? Is it one of the best feelings?
Yeah, it is. I love being around the academy and seeing. I think probably my favorite thing about it all is the supportive community that it sort of created. Everybody that's there. Helping each other along the way, supporting each other through their journey. So I love watching that. I love seeing smiles on people's faces. And I love whether it's a good golf shot, whether it's a great round of golf they've played, whether it's something they've just learned, whether it's a great time on the putting green. I love watching that, and I think it's an amazing community of first-time golfers to elite players that can help each other through that journey, and I just think that's very satisfying. I really do. I love it.
Yeah, it's so great. I love the game and I love what it does, and I applaud you. We all applaud you for what you're doing. Oh. It's just so great to encourage more into the game, and I see it, at grassroots level as well. One of my local courses, Sunningdale Heath, they get so many juniors involved, and we did a live podcast there, and some of the oldies who were 89, 90 came for half a glass of wine to listen to Mike Brown, who is a disabled golfer who's just, Mike.
I know Mike.
Yeah.
I know Mike, yeah.
He's such a great guy and just shows what can happen. He's an amputee. He's won over in the States. Just those stories of inspiration that can ripple through the community.
Oh my God, yeah. I think, I think that those guys, especially, and seeing what it's done for those, actually in the academy in Dubai, we have a Heroes of Hope group. Great. And those are the most amazing to watch, and watch what golf does to them. Focus on that and bring a smile to their faces. It's for anybody really with a disability that wants to get into golf.
Got you.
And they come. There's weekly classes, and they come and play golf, and they're amazing to watch. I love seeing how happy they are. It does actually give me goosebumps. My mum had a stroke a few years ago, and the Stroke Association got her back involved in golf. So she would go with other people that had strokes and do short game for half an hour or an hour, and it gets you out of the house, gets you chatting, have a cup of coffee. Totally.
I mean, literally changes your brain, changes how you feel. So, that's brilliant. Really applaud that. Tommy, just really quickly, we've only got a couple of minutes left, but I want to just mention next year, the majors. Again, obviously, we're hoping for the Grand Slam for you. But in terms of Royal Port Rush...
Yeah, anything else is unacceptable.
Totally unacceptable. Royal Port Rush, we all want you to do really well there. How are you feeling about playing in Northern Ireland?
I love that we've just spoke about staying in the present, and we've moved on to the Open.
Oh gosh, sorry, I'm totally taking you away.
No, absolutely. The Open is my. It's the event I love the most. Again, going back to growing up in Southport, the Open would come to Birkdale, and I think it's the first tournament that I fell in love with, and it's of all the tournaments that I play in, the Open is my biggest dream to win. So whenever that comes around, I absolutely love it. And very excited. The last Open there was amazing.
Second.
Had an amazing. I did finish second.
Yeah.
It had an amazing atmosphere on an amazing golf course. So I think massively excited that that's stayed on the rota, and we get to go back there so soon after it happened in 2019. So that's look, like I say, the Open is the one that I would love to win, and then if they gave me an option, they said you get to win one tournament and you never get to touch a club again, that would be mine. So
God, 2025, it's your year. Come on. I do highlight second because there are a lot of newcomers to our podcast who've just started out in golf. Obviously, there's lots of people that obviously know that you finished second, but we'd like to highlight it and to say it will be first in 2025. And Tommy, I know you've got a busy day tomorrow. When this podcast comes out, the event will have taken place, but it's really important to highlight it. Just tell us what you're doing in 24 hours.
Yeah, we're hosting the first ever AJGA events, so American Junior Golf Association events here in the Middle East. So they've never come here before. So that's we've had the opportunity to bring something that's very cool to the kids and junior golfers that are out here playing, practicing, trying to play at an elite level, giving them a platform there to play on. So that's something really cool and something I'm really proud of. So I'm looking forward to hosting that. And there's one. One starts tomorrow, and then we've got another 2 as well. So it's a series of 3, which is amazing.
Oh, brilliant! And the DP World Tour are involved in some way.
DP World are they're sponsoring the event, and the events are played on the DP World Tour courses that are here. So Jumeirah Golf Estates, Yas Links, and RAC as well. So very, very, very cool.
That's fantastic. How many children, kids taking part?
72 entries. So it's pretty full field.
Certainly is, and my goodness, what an experience for them! And to get a bit of knowledge from you, you'll be there giving them any advice.
Well, I don't know what good that will do, but I'll be around anyway.
Take that TikTok video from years ago, that short swing.
Michael McIntyre's TikTok video, yeah.
Oh, great stuff! Really good to highlight that, and look forward to seeing those results. Great stuff. 3 final questions for you, Tommy. These are our Clubhouse curveballs that we ask every guest. Our first one is, if you're allowed to pick a favourite, what's your favourite golf course in the world?
St Andrews, the old course.
Yeah, good choice. You're always travelling around the world. What's your one travel essential that you always have to pack in your suitcase? We've had steamers. Louis Oosthuizen last week said he carries a steamer. Brandon Grace was the same. What did Brooks Koepka say? Can you remember what Brooks Koepka said? Oh, yeah, that was it. Brooks said he overpacks. He basically takes double of what he needs.
I don't know whether I have an essential. I feel like I can live without most things.
Rude Hullett said...
I would have to say... I'd have to say my phone or some kind of tablet so I can FaceTime home.
Yeah, vital. Good choice. And what is your drink of choice on the 19th hole?
I'm actually not drinking at the moment, but before that, it depends. It depends on what the conditions have been in the day, because on a nice hot day, there's kind of nothing more refreshing than a really nice beer, right?
Yeah, great.
Colder conditions. I'm actually not sure, but
like Dunhill. What did you have after the rounds at the Dunhill?
Oh, I'm not drinking, so it's water.
Oh, it can be soft drinks. Yeah, completely. Water's a bit boring. What about
water,
tea?
So, I mean, probably the most boring guest that you've had, and the most boring answer.
No, it's good. It's a good message. Now I've got some water here. So this water's actually got. There are various brands available, but it's
Love a cup of tea.
Love a cup
on a cold day.
Great, that's a great choice. Do you ever have electrolytes in your water? That's for me.
I thought you were going to say in the cup of tea then. No, I've never tried that. I do have electrolytes in the water, yeah.
Do you? I know. I've just discovered electrolytes.
Very important.
Tommy, they're a game changer. I didn't realise. Yeah, so so you got a cup of tea, water or a beer on a sunny day. Tommy, you've been brilliant. Thank you. Can I just finish off with... the podcast is called Why Golf? Why do you play golf? Why do you love it? Why are you part of this community? Why do you love this community? Why should people play golf?
That was a lot of whys.
We'll edit some of those, won't we? Hopefully.
I think, like I say, going back to a very young age, I think golf is where I started dreaming. I think, and those dreams are still... alive today and the same as they were. It's been my favourite thing to do since I was a young boy starting out in the game. I have met my closest friends through golf, met my wife through golf. So
brilliant.
My kids play, and I just, I love being involved in the game. I going back to what I said earlier. I see what good it can do. And I just enjoy being part of the golfing community and hopefully passing on so much of the good that it has given me onto others, really.
Top bloke. Tommy, thanks so much for your time. You are a brilliant ambassador for the game. We're very grateful to speak to you.
And good news, Claire went and found the medal, so it's right there.
Hey, there we go. It's the money shot. Oh, well done, Claire. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Well done,
I really appreciate your time. Take it easy.
Yeah, thanks, Di. Thank you.
Now, remember, if you like what you've heard, make sure you subscribe on your favourite podcast provider. We're also on Instagram. Just search for This Is Why Golf, and YouTube if you search for Why Golf Podcast. To find out more of the most up-to-date insights and research, just head to thisiswhygolf.com, where there's lots more information on all the benefits that golf has to offer. That's our last episode of the series. Thank you so much for listening this year and for travelling all over the globe with us as we've asked, why golf? The Why Golf Podcast is brought to you by Skyscanner. See you soon.